Hello and welcome to all you Aries out there. This is your monthly horoscope for April 2016, and let's start straight away with your ruler. Mars is doing a very important action there. It's going retrograde. It's almost touching the fixed star Antares, and there's also a Mercury retrograde. But let's start with your ruler Mars, that is in your ninth house. The ninth house is a mind house. It's a house of your opinion. It's a house of your higher mind. It's a house of travel, publishing, foreigners. It's a very happy house, actually. It's a house of being a bit of cultural, going to a museum. That is also the ninth house. It's also studies and higher studies and teaching. So a very positive house. It's the house of the Sagittarian. And Mars is going in there, and up until 8 degrees of Sagittarius, then it stands still. It almost touches Antares, that fixed star, which is at 9 degrees, and then it goes backwards. So what does it say? Now, the fixed star Antares is associated with, it's a star for military, that you find a lot in the military area, you could say. And it is about strategic ability. It is about courage, which is very much about your ruler, isn't it, Mars? It conveys mental alertness. So at its best, it's courage. It's courage. It's doing things. Your intention is full of integrity. At its worst, it's endings, war, conflict. So this fixed star has the flavor of Mars and Jupiter. So it not only having the flavor of Mars and Jupiter, also Mars, the planet Mars, is going to touch almost that fixed star. So this is significant, and a double whammy of we need to mind our actions. We need to look at the intention. And for you Aries people out there, it has to do with ninth house stuff. So it has to do maybe with study, maybe with travel, and so on and so on. So there is like this big emphasis on courage, big emphasis on, and this is the sign that Aries is all about. I think people who've got a lot of planets in Aries, also in Scorpio, but Scorpio and Aries are both ruled by Mars. But people who've got a lot of planets in Aries, they are here in this life to be courageous, period. Whether it is your moon, whether it is your sun, whether it is your ascendant, or maybe you have a Mars or a Venus or a Mercury in Aries, that means that you need to apply that courageous sense that you have, that courageous trait, characteristic. So, but with the Mars going retrograde, it is also saying that we need to think twice before we do something. We need to not try to go too fast. And that is sometimes difficult for an Aries, because this is all about doing and going towards what you want. So Mars going retrograde in itself, that's not a bad thing. But it is a bad thing, or it is experienced as bad, as we are a bit, if we are very impulsive and if we don't want to listen to our environment. If the environment is giving you clues like, hey, you're overdoing this here, then it's going to be a frustrational time. But if you are able and also willing to think twice before you do, to think about what really your intentions are. If they are selfish, you can forget it, because Mars squares up to Neptune. So if you handle just because of your own will, this will backfire. So Mars in a connection with Neptune, which is approximately the whole month, it's squaring up to Neptune. So this is saying, do something okay for yourself, but also something that is that your higher mind is recommending you, that God is recommending you if you believe in God. So it's very much being in line with the divine, doing things that are very positive for the collective. This is Mars in a square to Neptune. Doing things not only for yourself, but for the collective. And I'm not saying here sacrifice yourself, not at all, but doing things, yes, for a higher purpose, you could say. And maybe writing a book that is all about spreading knowledge, for instance. Now, it can be 1,000 of things. I'm just saying here just one little thing. But it certainly is a good time for all of us to think twice before we do things. Also, if you want to initiate something new that has to do with travel, that has to do with taking classes or giving classes, the best timing to do so is August, September time. The best time now is to prepare, to trial, to error, to start to not start something, but thinking of what you are going to do, what you are to plan. Strategically planning, remember that fixed star, strategic ability. This is very much emphasized in the constellation now of the planets and that fixed star. So, count to 10, you Aries people. If you are someone who is typical Aries and very impatient, count to 10. Think about the way that you do things. Think about the way that you think, because the 9th house is a thinking house. What else? Mercury. Mercury is going into Taurus, which is your 2nd house. So this is on a more mundane level. You are thinking about your finances. That's Mercury in the 2nd house of Taurus. It is going retrograde at the very end of the month, so only around the 29th, I think. So that's something for next month. But what we already see during the whole month of April is that Mercury, that little planet there, is traveling together in a conjunction with a little asteroid called Vesta. So Mercury and Vesta are traveling together in your 2nd house. Now, this is significant and beautiful, because Vesta is all about purity and it's all about dedication. So you have the opportunity to dedicate yourself towards, maybe if your financial situation isn't that, you have the opportunity here to rethink it, to to change the way that you do your finances. Maybe to and the first thing, if you want to change something, is looking at what's my position here, what's happening here with my finances, and Taurus is about reality. So there's a reality check going on with money, with your value. If it's not money, it can also be your self-worth. So you're reevaluating your self-worth. You're reevaluating your talents, could be the case as well, in combination with that Mars going retrograde in your 9th. Maybe you are going to study something that you already did, but you never finished it. So maybe you're going to do that around September time, August, September. So Mercury going retrograde in your 2nd house, I don't think it's going to be a nasty Mercury retrograde, because it touches very good other aspects. So it trines to Jupiter and it trines to Pluto, which is all very nice energy when it goes forwards and when it goes backwards. So it's not like with Capricorn retrograde, when there was like bumping into Uranus in a square or bumping into Pluto in a conjunction. No, this Mercury retrograde is not as tough, but it is about getting real. So get real about your finances. You've got an opportunity to work on it, to replan it, to work hard on solving your problems when you have them financially. So, having said that, you Aries people, I wish you all the best. It's a very real month, but at the same time, it can also be a very philosophical month, where you put a lot of, maybe astrology. Mars going retrograde in the 9th house. When I had that, I decided and it also then went onwards in the 10th house, which is work. I then started my astrology. I started YouTube videos. So this is just an example. Mars is like, when it goes retrograde in a house, it means that there are going to be huge changes in that house when the retrograde is over. In your case, August, September. So you can make some huge changes in your perspective, in the way that you do astrology maybe, or maybe revisiting a country that you once went to and maybe working abroad. Maybe working abroad could be the case as well, or working with people from abroad. Anyway, I think it's going to be a good month for you. I wish you all the best, and see you next month. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.